So like 6 years ago, we started this Thrive and core groups thing. I mean, before that, we had just done some things on Monday nights for high schoolers and Thursday nights for middle schoolers, and we were really, really creative, so we called it Thursday nights. That's right. I am maybe the most creative person in all of St. Louis. But the truth is, it wasn't going super well. So we got this group of students and parents and leaders and volunteers, and we sat in this basement and said, all right, God, like, what are we supposed to do now? I don't think this is it. This is fine, but it's not life-changing. It's just happening. And so we prayed, and we put up all these big poster boards to write on, and we dreamed, and all of a sudden we came up with this idea for Thrive and core groups that met. There's only one problem. I was just one person. You see, on Thursday nights, I could kind of just lead it. And we had some volunteers who helped out, and they were awesome. But it was kind of just like stuck on me. And by the way, nothing good should be stuck on just like one person. All things that are great come from teams. And so one of the things we realized as we were sitting in that basement was that was a problem. Like, if gathering students was going to do awesome things, if God was going to do awesome things through gathering students, I needed help. Not just like I needed help, I needed to ask for help and get help. So the next 6 months I spent having so much hot chocolate with people that I think my blood turned brown. Like, the sugar content of my blood went through the roof. I don't know how I didn't get diabetes getting all this hot chocolate, but I would just meet with people and say, hey, would you like to be a core group leader? And here's the amazing thing. God put some amazing people in the lives of the people in those core groups that first year. People who I had never met, but somebody said, hey, you should talk to that person because they've got some real awesome skills. And if they said yes, they'd be amazing. Kind of like the core group leaders you have now. People who just said yes to this crazy thing called gathering students in core groups. They're awesome. But I had to learn to ask for help. Because if it was just me, I couldn't lead a bunch of different core groups, and I couldn't lead them well. I needed to find the right people with the right heart and the right skills. Well, that's what happened to Moses after they crossed the Red Sea, and they're wandering in the wilderness. You see, God was with them this whole time, but God wanted a place to dwell with them. That if they came up to somebody, a group of people, that they could see this is where God was dwelling with the Israelites. So he wanted them to build a tabernacle, which is just like a fancy word for a really fancy tent. Imagine like a really low-key but really kind of extra circus tent. That's weird. Here's a problem. Moses didn't know how to make a tent or a tabernacle. He didn't know how to like sew jewels into it or measure it the right way or get the right like boards to hold it up. He's like, God, you've asked me to do this thing again that I'm not good enough to do. You should have found somebody else. God, I told you back at the burning bush that you needed to find somebody else. And God says, no, I didn't. I chose you to do all of this. And now I'm going to put the people around you that you need. I'm going to have a tabernacle built. I need you to help supervise it, but you're not supposed to build it. I've got other people for that. People that are going to help you do what you're supposed to do. And so God sends Moses these two guys named Bezalel and Oholiab, which is amazing. The most amazing names in the Bible. And he says, like, these guys know how to do all the things that I've asked you to do and how to build this. And they'll get the right teams together and they're going to build this for you. You just have to go ask. Sometimes in life, you're not going to be able to do everything that's asked of you. The to-do list is just going to be too long, or you're not going to have the right skills to do what's on your list. And sometimes the most important thing that you can do is ask for help. Say, God, why didn't you help me? And God might say, I put all the people around you to help you. All you had to do was ask for help. We weren't made to do this alone. So many times in my life, God's love and God's help in my life has looked like the people that God has put around me.